Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every vessel to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the Galactic family, the GCVs, and of course, Drew Nation. Let's get right into it. Stress can kill you, and narcissists want to put you in an early grave by watching you die slowly. Let's get right into it. Stress from any kind of narcissistic relationship will kill you. It will cause you to have high levels of fatigue, and it will cause you to feel worse than you've ever felt. It's a spiritual low, and it will drag you down to the low, like just the lowest version of yourself. Once you notice that it's already taken place, it's too late. Because by that time, you stop taking care of yourself. You stop caring about yourself. Stop caring about certain things, your health, exercise, eating habits, sleep, if you can get any. But what will happen is you will just constantly just feel like your life is just deteriorating right up underneath you. It's the type of stress that will cause you to nap during the day and cause you to like be awake at night. It throws your sleeping patterns off. It throws you off, throws your money off, throws everything off, because you'll feel like you don't even have enough energy to take care of the normal things that you naturally would. People may lose a job over this. People may end up being in a compromised situation over this, to where now, if they're with a person or if they're in a situation that they're trying to get out of, they may get looked at as they're making excuses, which is pretty much kind of like adding an insult to injury, because you just don't have enough energy to get up and do what you naturally would to take care of yourself. And now that right there will make you dependent, possibly even upon the people that are playing games with your mind and making it hard for you to thrive as an individual that is caught up with this kind of behavior from from the narcissist. So it's a very difficult thing to deal with, because by the time you realize it, it's already too late. And the type of time it takes away from you and the type of pressure that it puts on you, it will cause you to feel high stress levels, higher than you've ever felt. And you'll feel worse than you've ever felt dealing with this type of behavior from people. It makes you feel like you're lazy. It makes you feel like you're not doing enough. It makes you feel like you can't do the normal things that you regularly would, like other people who are handling business and taking care of themselves. While the person that is behaving towards you like this, like I said, is adding insult to injury and is kicking you while you're down and putting even more pressure on you and throwing even more jabs at you. It's like someone that is in a boxing ring and they're down, and while the person is counting for them to get back up, 5, 4, 3, the person's just still punching them, just still delivering death blows, just boom, 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 death blow after death blow after death blow, boom, boom, boom. And the ref is just acting like he doesn't see anything. That's the enabler in the situation. So the narcissist is the person that's kicking you while you're down, beating you while you're down mentally, which is going to have physical effects on you. It's going to affect you mentally, physically, and spiritually. And we're going to get into that. But and the enabler is the other narcissist in the situation, to where they're just like, if there are any enablers in your situation, don't you see this? Ref, hey ref, hey ref, don't you see what's happening here? Glad that's not me. So it's best when you're in this type of situation to not be in this type of situation at all. It's best to not involve yourself with these kinds of people, because gaslighting, it turns your brain to mush. People alter your reality. It's like a drug without taking a drug. And it really is a drug without taking a drug, because people become addicted to this type of behavior. It becomes a norm for them. And some people have no other recollection of anything else. So by default, unfortunately, they actually go seek this type of behavior out. They'll get into a healthy relationship, and it'll be seen as boring to them, because the certain endorphins and the certain chemicals that are released, that put them on this anxiety, put them on this edge, are it's not happening. So it's like now they're looking for someone that will have the same type of energy, that will be able to have these same kind of characteristics, that will end up treating them the same way and putting them in the same kind of situation. All right. But don't allow that to happen to you. Don't be one of those people. All right. That's why videos like this are extremely important. Do not be one of those people who becomes addicted to that type of chemical release. And it's not your fault. But what you have to do is you have to continue to watch videos like this, educate yourself on these type of topics, be made aware of these kinds of things, so that way you will cut these kinds of people out of your life. Because I know people are important to you, but you have to view yourself as the most important person in your life. And you have to view your health as the second most, the healthy you as the second most important person in your life. You are the most important person in your life, and that will make the healthy you also the most important person in your life. And when you focus on yourself and your health, everything else will fall in line. Because if you're focused on yourself, you're not going to make any compromises. If you're focused on your health, you're not going to make any compromises. Then you can actually, you'll have the mental space and the brain space to be able to focus on anything else. You focus on yourself and you focus on your health, you'll have time to focus on your wealth and all these other things: passions, goals, dreams, achievements, things you want to succeed at. This is what narcissistic people take away from a person, because this person is fighting to live and fighting to survive. So it's like everything else goes out the window, because what would normally take place in their life is now being pushed aside by trying to sort out all this negative mental activity going on in their brain. It's like an attack, a mental psychological attack on your brain, when you are engaged, having to deal with, live with, work with these kinds of people, these kinds of toxic individuals. That's why it's always good to not only get away from them if it's a situation to where you have to be around them, but not only is it good to get away from them, but it's also good to not work with them as well. It's no point in jumping out of a frying pan into the fire, as they say. But you don't want to think just because you got away from them where you live, working with them is going to be any different. And I know it's hard to get away from these kinds of people, because just like you and just like good people, they're kind of scattered abroad as well. But what you have to do is, that's why I said you have to care about yourself and you have to care about your health. Because if you care about yourself, and if you put yourself first and then you put your health first, you're not going to put yourself in situations to where either of these things will be compromised. So what you're going to do is you're going to end up loving yourself so much that you end up creating something that you can do by yourself, to where you don't need to be around other people. And it's possible. You have to search your mind. You got to soul search. You got to ask God to show you something that you can do, to where you can provide for yourself without having to be around these kinds of people. Because God doesn't want you to die because of this. He wants you to live a long life, and then when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. He doesn't want you to be stressed out into an early grave. He doesn't want you to love somebody but kill yourself. All right, you're not supposed to um, be around someone who's literally stabbing you in the back. You know, it's like the picture where the person's hugging someone, but the person got a knife in their hand and they're about to put it in their back. You don't want that. You don't want people that are going to stress you out, and it's like hard for you to tell because of the gaslighting. But if you have to listen to how your body is communicating to you. You got to listen to how your body is telling you and responding to you. All right, your body will tell you how it feels around certain people. Your body will respond to you on how it feels around certain people, and even when you're away from them. This stuff can affect you even when you're away from them. That's why it's good to that's why no contact is a very important strategy on saving your life, because even contacting these kinds of people and having to talk to them can still bring in certain levels of stress, just by having a situation to where you have to deal with them. It will cause you the same kind of stress as if you were with them. And that's why it's not good to talk to certain people on the phone, because it'll bring your spirit down. And you can't act like just because you're not around this person, it is not attacking your spirit. It's like your boss calling you on the weekend when you're off. That's a spiritual attack right there. You don't want, if they're toxic and they're not the type of person that you would want anything to do with outside of that job. Like, as soon as you leave that job, you don't want anything to do with that boss or that particular manager, because you and them aren't cool like that. Now, if it was a different type of situation to where it's all love, then that's different. It's a good situation. That's different. If it's a situation that brings you peace, if it's a peaceful person, that's different. If it's someone that adds on to your life instead of subtracts from your life, that's different. But when you got that toxic boss beating up your phone on the weekend, when you're trying to relax, and they wait until 10:30, or they wait until 11 in the afternoon, or they wait until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or just any type of time where you don't feel like being bothered. It's really no good time on the weekend at all. You don't want to be bothered by anybody on the weekend. All right, you just don't want to. You done worked all week, and that's your time to unwind. That's your time to relax. That's your time to put yourself outside of that situation, that job situation, especially if the people are toxic, and to keep your mind on yourself. That's your time to heal. You only get one day. Like, Saturday is the really only good day. Friday night is cool, but you just got off of work that day, and you kind of don't really feel it or look at it like that because you got the weekend ahead of you. But once Sunday comes, it's like back to work. So Saturday is really only the one day that is like good to relax. You can relax on Sunday too, but then once Sunday night rolls around, it's just like anxiety starts to creep back in. Heart starts to get that irregular heartbeat action. If God forbid, I hope that's not your situation, but these are just the types of things. These are just the types of things that narcissistic people cause. Like, they will cause you to have an irregular heartbeat. They'll call it because the stress. It causes you to have certain problems, certain health issues. Just from being around these people, because your stress level is so high, And once these chemicals get released, it causes your body to react irregularly and act irregularly. So it's not a good situation for you. And that's why I said you have to put yourself first. And putting yourself first is putting your health first. You can't let people stress you into an early grave just because you have to pay your bills. It's different when certain people have to work there and they're not under this type of pressure, or they're not under this kind of attack. It's different. They have a whole different type of vibe at their job when they're not the ones being attacked, when they're not the ones being slowly killed by the people around them. It's different. If they're in the crowd, and if they're a toxic person too, they're probably not the one having warfare waged on them. All they have to deal with is just a regular, normal stress from the job. And who can't handle that? You've been handling stress just stress from life your whole life. That's normal. Animals go under stress from being alive. A tree goes under stress from being alive. Everything goes under stress from being alive. But when you add other stressors on top of that, that's when people are attacking you, because people already know that life is hard enough as it is, and you got to go hard at life alone. You got to go hard at life. It's no excuses. You got to go hard at life. And some people have a harder life than others. Some people have an easier life than others, regardless of these types of people or not. But then when you add certain things like that into the mix, it's just like, yo, I'm already dealing with a lot. Anything else is just too over the top. It's just too much. I don't want to have it in me to deal with all this stuff. I'm not taking years off my life because of the sake of having to work here, or the sake of having to communicate with people, or just any sake. You have to make sure that you are the most important person in your life and you're treating yourself extremely well. This is where faith and belief come into play, because if anything happens, you have to know that a way will be made for you. Something good will happen to you. An opportunity will come your way. And it's nothing to be worried about just because you have to up and leave someplace. How are you going to continue to go back to work if you're physically unable to? Like, these are the things that people don't take into consideration. How are you going to be able to do what you need to do, even if you hold on to the position, or even if you hold on to said people in your life, if you're not able to even maintain a life because of the amount of stress that is putting on you? And it's a shame, because these people will call you weak. These people will say all these kinds of terrible things about you, not knowing the effect that they're having on you. But most likely they know the effect that they're having on you, and they're just gaslighting the bananas out you. Let's say it for that way, because I almost, what I want to say, but it can't really you can't use certain words on here. You can't. It's somewhat free speech. But they'll gaslight the pants off you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not a good situation to be in when you're going through something and people are just deliberately ignoring it and acting like it's not there, acting like they don't see it. And that's also generational curses as well. Because if people if people were gaslit, then if they haven't changed, or if they haven't healed, or if they are just looking at that as the way things are, they're going to treat you like that too if they were treated like that. Like, if they were gaslit, they're going to gaslight you. If they went to a job and that's how they were treated, then they're going to do it to you. And you can call it what you want. I don't know how some people can deal with that type of behavior. You can call me what you want. People can call you what you want, but caring about your health is very important. So if other people, they got brain of steel, or if they got body parts of steel, hey, good for them. But I'm not putting myself, if this stuff is about to take me out and it's wearing me out, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. If I gotta go clock in and it feels like a refrigerator just fell on my back or my neck, I'm not dealing with it. If I gotta drag myself out of bed, drag myself out the car, drag myself into the place of business, it's other places. It's other places to work. It's other things that can be done. Like they have people unfortunately programmed to go get a job, go work for somebody else, go do this, go do that. What you need to do is also spend some time going to do something for yourself. You need to create your own job. Like people don't understand that all a job is a job that the reason why you can even have a job in the first place is because somebody went and created a business that they needed people to work for. You could do the same thing. You may not believe in yourself or you may think it's too hard, but you can do the same thing. It takes time, it takes learning, it takes studying, it takes certain finances or whatever. But whatever it takes, it's possible. It's just that people are looking at it. People are looking at things short term. Well, I don't have time, and well, I got to do this now, and I gotta. What you need to do is have some faith and know that God is going to take care of you and provide for you in every way and in any way possibly that you would need Him to. He's generous. He's not stingy. You need to get that God out of your mind that is not going to help you when you need Him to help you. He can help you in any kind of way. You just have to be open to it so that way you can receive the blessing and actually have Him help you in your time of need. Sometimes you may be in a time of need while you're creating something, while you're working on something. That's why it's good to study success stories because that's just the downtime period of your success. Just because you're in a time of need does not mean you are a success. You could have an idea that is going to take your life further than a job could. You could have an idea that is going to take your life further than working for someone else. But if you don't take a risk and believe in yourself and act out on it, how will you ever know? Sometimes you have to fall flat on your face. Sometimes you have to trip and fall. Sometimes you have to fall back in life. Sometimes things will not be looking. Sometimes days won't be as bright as they could be. Sometimes it'd be a week of rain, a month of rain. It's some places where it rains for a whole month. It rains for a whole month. Some places just shh. I'm talking about that type of rain. Shh. Oh, you think it stopped? Nope. Shh. I'm talking about buckets. It's places where it just rains buckets for months. As soon as people get a week of sunshine, they're like, "Oh my goodness, the sun!" And then shh, move from that place. Unless you like the rain like that. But it's the same thing. Sometimes it rains in life, you know. Sometimes it rains in life, and you gotta get you an umbrella. You know, when it rains in life, you gotta get you an umbrella. You gotta get you something stable. You gotta get something that will help you. You know, like have some faith. Have some faith. When it rains, you need some faith. All right, you need some faith, and your faith has to be as strong as you think you are. However strong you are, that's how strong you have to see your faith is. And people can say whatever they want about these kinds of people. You're complaining, you're weak, you're this, you're that. Okay. You end up getting into a situation to where people are psychologically trying to destroy you. Tell me, tell me how you end up. Show me how it works out for you. If you know how to get around that, more praise, more applause to you, But some people are just figuring this thing out and getting through it and going through it and having to make the call their way out of it just to survive. Everybody's life is different, and that's the thing. You can't compare yourself to other people, and don't let people compare themselves to you. When anybody has anything ignorant or rude to say that is a shot at you for what you're going through, it's just an opinion. So if somebody's like comparing you, there's no comparison when it comes to you and other people. People start off with different knowledge, different information, different circumstances. All right, everybody's life is different, so you can't necessarily compare yourself to somebody else because you're going through something. Oh, well, I this and that, and I had to, and I, that's nice. You're not me and I'm not you, so we can't compare each other. We could, but it's not going to be an even comparison. It's never an even comparison when you compare yourself to someone else. When they're comparing weaknesses to strengths. So don't let anybody stress you out into an early grave. It's not worth it. When you feel people bringing stress into your life, no matter who it is, you got to put yourself first. That's really all it boils down to. When somebody is when something or someone in life is stressing you out, you're putting it before yourself. You're willing to hold on to it and kill yourself. You're willing to hold on to it and allow yourself to die. And this is just what you can, that's just the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You have to let that die. Whatever you're holding on to, it has to die. It has to go. It has to get destroyed. It has to perish because it's not worth you. It's not worth your peace of mind. It's not worth all the time that you're going to waste trying to make things right, trying to make sure things are okay with other people. You need to be making sure things are okay with you. You can't help what other people have chosen to do with their life. If somebody chose to do something to their life to where now it's they can't do what they need to do, but this person is someone that you can't be around them too long because it's killing you, then people make choices all the time. People are going to have to live with the choices that they make. And just like you, if you continue to stay around people that are killing you slowly, and whether they're aware of it or not, it's still happening. Somebody's stabbing you, and oh man, I didn't know. The damage is done, whether they knew or not. If you know, if you're aware, you got to stop it. You got to take the knife about you. Yo, whoa, I got to take this knife about me, whether they know it or not. Yo, I got this knife. Got to go. Can't keep cutting me up. I'm losing blood here. Like I'm not trying to lose anymore. So put yourself first. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. All right. You got to put yourself first. Let anybody go. For real, because like people know. Most people are aware of what they're doing to you because when you try to bring it up to them, they gaslight you and they act like that's not happening. They tell you they will tell you the opposite of what's going on, trying to distort your reality, and that's why it's like a drug. Drugs distort people's reality. People take drugs and it's like there's someplace else. Excuse my rendition of being on drugs, but it's like it's someplace. It puts you someplace else, man. You take that stuff and it puts you someplace else. And I'm not knocking anybody going through something. I'm not knocking anybody trying to figure their life out. Things get hard for people. People want to. I'm not knocking anybody trying to escape any situations because life is hard and people go through things and everything happens for a reason. So maybe that's just what you had to go through that your particular time so you could not have to face or deal with whatever you were going through. Maybe it was too difficult or too hard for you. I'm definitely not judging you. I will never judge anybody on that. No judgment here. But what we are judging on is you saving your own life. What we are, I will judge you on saving your life. All right, I am the judge of that. You need to save your life. Don't let people stress you out into harming yourself. And people will blame people for doing things, and all the while it was a situation that they were being put through by the person pointing the finger, making the blame, this and that. And it's like it's too much pressure being put on this person. They was either going to snap, they were either going to take themselves out, they were either going to like harm themselves in some other way. Like maybe that was just the safest way for them to not have to feel what they were feeling. But instead of, and people can do that with food. People can do that with neglecting themselves, just staying in bed all day. It's different. It's different ways of being of destroying yourself without even knowing it or being aware of it. Or it's different ways of just taking your mind off of what you're going through and not dealing with it. As long as something's happening in your life and you're pretending it's not there and not dealing with it, it doesn't matter if you're trying to escape it or not, because it's still going on. and it's still happening, and it's something that you're still not dealing with that needs to be dealt with. And either way, whether you're putting something in your body or not, you're being destroyed by it, whether you know it or not. You can't keep allowing yourself to be destroyed, trying to hold on to something and make it work. It's not good for you. You have to move on. You have to, because your health is more important. Your life is more important. By the time you'll look up and your life will be gone, all because you wanted to be a good person and you were being a good person to everybody except you. You don't want that to happen to you. You want to be able to enjoy your life, because that's why God put you here, whether it's work, whether it's people outside your life, whoever, whatever. You come first, no matter who it is, boss, anybody. You are the boss. You are in charge of your life, and you should do what you will with it. That's what Plato said. You are in charge of your life. Do what you will with it today, regardless of how people look at you, regardless of what people have to say. When you start doing for you and doing what's best for you, people are going to have an opinion. People are going to have something to say. When you start doing for you, people are going to have something to say, and they're going to have an opinion. It just is what it is. But you can't let people gaslight you and lie to you and manipulate you and try to fool you into something, thinking that something's not happening when it is. Gaslighting is one of the worst things that you can do to a person. It destroys them from the inside out, because you have them thinking one thing while you're attacking them and beating them down and destroying them the opposite of what you're saying. So what you're saying is one thing. Oh yeah, this and that and the other. It's not that. You're just seeing things. You're just experiencing. You're not experiencing that. You're just seeing things. There's something wrong with you. You need some help. We're going to take you to go get some help. You need to go get this checked out. You got to get this worked out. Meanwhile, they're the thing that you need to work out, and you need to work it out of your life for good, because you're worth it. I'm trying to tell you, you are worth it. You're worth the peace. You're worth the health. You're worth the living the good life. You're worth the not having toxic people in your life trying to drain you of that life. You're worth all of that. And you can't let anything destroy you, especially people who are trying to gaslight you, treating you one way and acting a whole nother way. That's demonic. That is demonic. The devil is using someone like that. And if they won't change, they're allowing themselves to be taken over by that type of energy. And if you don't do anything about it, you're allowing that. You're just you're a willing participant in their experiment to see how long it's going to take until they get you out of here, stress you up out of here, stress you into an early grave. And you can't have no parts in that, just because you're trying to be a good person. Don't be good to other people and terrible to yourself. That's what good people need to understand. Don't be so good to other people to where you're terrible to yourself. Don't be good to terrible people. Being good to terrible people is being terrible to you. Well, I gotta make this work, and I gotta hold on to it. And you know what they say, you gotta make things work, and you only get this, and you only get that, and you gotta make sure everything is you gotta make sure you do the best with what you got. In certain situations, can't just go keep moving from job to job. Can't just keep trying to look for another place to work all your life. Gotta find something stable sooner or later. You're not going to be young forever. That's true, but you're not supposed to be dumb forever either. You're supposed to figure things out and yo, this is not working. This is evil. This is toxic. It's time to go. I can't take it. There's a lot. People can take a lot, but it's just certain things you have to look at life and be like, I give up. I can't take that. If I do keep taking that, it's gonna take me out of here. Can't let that happen. Life is too precious. Life is too precious. People know what they're doing. They know what they're up to. They act like they don't, so they can keep doing it. Oh, no, that's not happening. No, no, we wouldn't do that to you. What make you think that? Gotta get you some help, man. Something wrong with you. Yeah, BS. All right, so anybody talks to you like that, that's a red flag, especially when you feel the opposite, especially when you know what you're experiencing is real. That's why they tell you to write these things down. People treat you a certain way, write it down. People say certain things, write it down. So that way, when you feel like, yo, is this happening? You can go back and be like, yo, they said this. That's what they said. I can't keep continuing to be around people who say things like this because they're thinking like that and they're going to act like that. Things that come out of people's mouth are a reflection of who they are. For real. Save yourself. All right. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and light. We out.